Good evening, everybody. Hell's Unicorn here once again, and I just wanted to take the occasion to commemorate the sad and untimely passing of MSNBC's original blowhard and jackass of a journalist, Keith Olbermann. Sadly, it seems that MSNBC will be without their 8 o'clock star attraction to their regular lineup, aka The Freak Show. Suffice to say, a lot of people have pointed out that the circumstances involved in his ejection from the now largely irrelevant network are a bit suspicious. Let's just put it that way. But they become less suspicious when you look at some of the media that there was leading up to this date, particularly if we go to a particular weblog which cites the New York Times as its source, this site being weaselzippers.us. We come to understand that people like Olbermann on MSNBC, their days were basically numbered. And I've provided a link in the description for any interested parties. This was put up about a little less than a month ago, so this is not surprising. Weasel Zippers scouring the bowels of the internet. Title: MSNBC.com wants out of leftist cable channel's shadow, because aligning yourself with leftist quacks damages your integrity as a credible journalist and is absolute lunacy, so says the weblog. And from there they cite the New York Times article, and it goes as follows. NBC Universal and Microsoft, the parents of MSNBC.com, are holding high-level talks about a name change, something that could be a risky endeavor for the third most popular website in the United States. The two parents have determined that the brand of MSNBC.com, a strictly objective news website, is widely confused with MSNBC, the cable channel that has taken a strongly liberal bent in recent years, according to internal memorandums obtained by the New York Times this week. Charlie Tillinghast, MSNBC.com's president, wrote in a memo last March, "Both strategies are fine, but naming them the same thing is brand insanity. The channel and website are already separate companies. The change is being contemplated because MSNBC and MSNBC.com are on somewhat divergent paths. They were founded together in 1996 by MSNBC and Microsoft, with the channel based in New Jersey and the website based in Microsoft's campus in Redmond, Washington. In 2005, NBC bought out Microsoft's stake in the cable channel, but the two parents remained together for the website, which is a crucial provider of content to Microsoft's MSN.com portal. MSNBC.com employees work closely with employees of MSNBC and NBC News, but the website has its own reporters, editors, producers, photographers, and advertising sales staff, and those employees have at times felt that they were stuck in the shadow of the cable channel. In recent years, MSNBC's shift to the left, with hosts like Keith Olbermann and Rachel Maddow, has further complicated the TV/web relationship. This week, the channel unveiled a splashy new ad campaign and a new tagline, "Lean Forward," or "Lean Forward and Brace Yourself." That reinforces the opinionated nature of the program, and it goes on from there. Basically, long story short, NBC decided to see if they could rake in some fringe viewers by turning the cable channel into something of an object of circus-level quackery, and as a result they got a small but fairly loyal contingent of viewers, probably numbering a little bit over 100,000, which there are channels on YouTube that get more than that, so that's pretty pathetic. But the website, and I do concur with this article, does supply some good and very vital news, and I think that it should be treated different, but from the MSNBC cable channel. Nonetheless, it's difficult to do that when the two names are so damn similar. So, evidently, since MSNBC.com is known primarily by its URL, and changing the name would naturally I would say, garner a major loss of audience because people like name recognition. I believe that Microsoft and NBC went into some talks and they decided, something's got to give here because we're losing money and even multi-billionaires have to make a living. So they came to the decision that we need to axe some of the more controversial people in the MSNBC lineup. That is the cable channel, of course, not the website. And that is, I think, primarily the reason why the channel decided to axe Olbermann because of so-called political donations to the Democratic Party. I have no doubt whatsoever that Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow and all of these other creepy, freaky, deaky leftists are giving money to Democrat candidates. It's just they simply singled out Keith Olbermann because he's on prime time. He's competing with Bill O'Reilly. His puny little glasses-toting face is basically all over the place, and he is probably the biggest liability out of any of the people on that particular channel. So, as the old saying goes, when you've got a bum leg, you don't shoot the patient, you simply cut off the leg. I'm sure Keith Olbermann will have a fine and lovely career, basically doing a radio show that maybe gets onto one or two local channels and brags an audience of maybe a couple thousand people, probably something a little bit less impressive than what Ed Schultz has, which is utterly pathetic. But that's par for the course when you deal in the kind of pseudo-journalism that Mr. Olbermann deals in. Long story short, I'm not going to miss him, and neither should you. With prudence to myself and benevolence to all of you, good evening.